Hello, every star. It is Vince again. I am recording this video today to show you how to do eyes. Now, will be a video with a tablet, so if you want to do eyes without a tablet, I recommend watching my other video that I did. That I'll put a link in the description below or like above, wherever it may be, because it's on Facebook or YouTube. But yes, this will be a video about eyes. Alright, I have 6 sets of eyes here. I have my friend Mavis. Maeve's eyes. Sorry, I always want to say Mavis, but that's not it. My friend Maeve's eyes. She actually has one swirly eye and one cat-like eye, but we're just going to do 2 swirly eyes. But all the eyes on the left are the ones that will be like the finish and everything, and all the eyes at the right are the ones we're gonna do, or I'm gonna go through with you. So alright, so like I said, we have one eye that's 2 different colors, and then this has the swirl in it, so it's just gonna show you how you do that. And then I have a multicolor eye that has purple and green into it, and over blue. I have a demon black eye, kind of, you know, without the white background, it will have a full black eye. Got a purple eye, a solid green eye, and blue cat's eye. Alright, which, you know, now I think about it, I probably should have switched the green and the blue around. But, it happens. Alright, right, now I already did all my folders and layers, but I'll tell you step by step how I did it anyways, just so it won't, like, cause you confusion or, you know, yeah. So, alright, you got your base layer right here, and same as ever, if you want to get your base layer, you go to your color your base, and how I did this was pretty much, I'll do it on a separate layer, just so you guys can see. So I'm going to do this green and blue so you guys can see it a little bit better. So pretty much what I do, instead of trying to blur it after I already erased the around it, I'll just, you know, probably do it this way, above the layer, so you guys can actually see it. So I would just kind of do it like this, depending on how you want it blurred. If it's a top and bottom type thing, then you take your blur tool. Obviously, you could probably a lot more green. There you look. That's actually not a bad color to mix together for eye. To be 100% honest with you. Alright, once you kind of, you know, get where it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that, you pretty much take your wand tool and go up to your layer and select around it, select here, wherever you don't want the color. So, my big brush, erase it, and then press Control D and unselect everything you have, just like always. And, you know, clean up your lines a little bit. And yeah, so that's kind of what I would do. I think it's 10 times easier to do it that way than trying to do a whole blue eye, then do the select, erase the background, and then turn around and try and blur the green in. So I just think it's 10 times easier to do it that way, and you can blur it much as you want and everything else. But I get started. I know this video is probably going to be long anyways. Alright. So, I'm going to kind of zoom out. I kind of do these, everybody has their own way they prefer to do eyes. My eyes are, I like, always prefer, I'm better doing it this way than like doing it that way. Maybe just because I'm right-handed, that's just kind of how it goes. But I can see that I misaligned you right there. So I'm just gonna kind of color that in on my base layer. And see, now it's not gonna work. Oh, if you have it on the blue. And like this is a thing about doing 2 different color eyes that, you know, it may not look that great or whatever. But anyways, alright, so first thing we want to do, is that eyes are pretty simple. I'm gonna select all this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Eyes have the same basis step. Nice thing about anything is that it's always the same basis structure on the bottom, but it's always a different style on top. Eyes, they have an iris. They have the top part is usually darker than the bottom. So you think about it that way, kind of what we got over here. So how I did this is that I'm actually going to select my colors here so I have them. Alright, so how I did this is that I would take, I actually already know what size iris I want. I'll take it and I'll do the circle. I'll press it a little bit harder so you can get that full circle feel. And then I'll turn around with the pencil tool, do that with the pencil tool. And then when I turn around, I'll do kind of, just kind of above off the top. It's okay if you do it a little bit. I would do it directly in the middle, but I would kind of go with the flow of the eye. So like kind of like an artsy feel. You just want to do it above off the top. So that would be that layer. And my next layer would be, I do it with my oops, that's not my airbrush. My airbrush tool, which is down here actually. And you guys should be able to have all these for the most part. You just have to go on an empty box, right click, and you have the basic tools. If you do not have, these are like the first steps. So you have pencil, airbrush, brush, watercolor, marker, and eraser. And then you also have like, this pen, which I'm not sure how you say that, and then set eraser and set brushes, I'm not sure what those do. And then you have your bucket tool, which everybody kind of knows what the bucket tool does. So, but these 6 brushes are the brushes you should for sure have with side. All my other brushes are pretty much brushes that I were given or I have made myself. Like I got my ink pen here, I got my lab pen here, and you can always look up brushes. I have brushes on my Facebook page that I'm doing with my group. So, you guys should have at least the basic brushes though. So, yeah. Alright, back to this. Alright, so I'm on my airbrush tool. And I'll kind of do a little bit bigger. I'll do kind of like half, and then I'll go upward. So like halfway through, kind of like, if you start here, kind of like as big as that, you kind of just go upward. So it just adds like a little bit more darker gradient feel. My next layer would be, she technically did have this darker green, but her bottom half is green, and because this green is so light, that it really turned, if I show you, it really turned like white, and I wanted to make sure it showed the green. So I add this color, which then obviously you go to your pen tool, not your pencil, but your pen tool, and it will give that nice, it gives that nice edgy feel. So, and you just kind of go around the edge of it. You can cover up the iris a little bit, but it might be that my brush is a little bit too big, so just gonna go down those sides. But then sometimes it's too small. Sometimes you just can't get it exactly under it. So, especially for like the bigger one. I usually try to get close. The sides is like between the iris and the edge of the eye. That's usually the best way I kind of just determine the eyes. I just kind of place it on there. So, normally, I have this layer, the third layer, under the eye, as scene or screen layer. I don't know why I don't want to say scene, but screen layer, which would make it brighter. But because, again, it's just such a weird green that makes it white, and I want to make sure it sees the green, so I leave it at that. But we'll get to that with the other eye too. So the next layer will be the little like lines This is totally optional, and I would just like to point out, I'm actually going to switch to the other green. I did this the other night, and I should have done this. I should have done everything right away so I knew exactly what I was doing. But, so what do you mean I did this? It looks like I did, I think I have the other green. But, everything I do is totally just optional. It's not a have to thing. You don't have to sit here and think about, okay, well I have to do it this way. Like these lines, totally optional. I don't know why I do it. I just like started doing it. I just thought it was like a whatever a nice touch. And yeah. And how I do these, if you want to do them, I usually go on that first layer. If we made that little arch with the brush tool, I usually go right under that where it meets the darkest, the little bit darker. I'll put one on each side. Then I'll put one down here in the middle. Then I'll put one in the middle of these two, and then one in the middle of these two. And then I just kind of go down and put them in the middle. That's the only way I could try to keep it even as much as possible instead of just going because then I thought it would just get weird. It just kind of seems like it got messier that way. But again, this is totally optional. I do have other how to do eyes in my group and everything else that you can look at. If you have something you want to learn and you just can't figure it out on your own, show me. I'll try to figure it out with you. I'll try to do a video on it, or just, join me in team view or anything. Like, nothing, if it doesn't look right to you, don't keep it. Work at it until you do like it. Alright, and now my next one would be, I'm not saying what I'm doing here. Oops. So, the little lines I do is on a screen layer. And then the next one would be on a luminosity layer. And I believe I still have the same green. Yes, I do. So, still on the same green. I usually go a little bit bigger than what I did the lines for. Nice thing about this one is that how I do this, I usually go right around the iris to kind of just make the iris pop a little bit. If you get pretty close like that, you can just select it, move it, move it how you want it, and put it back. And, you know, deselect control and everything, and then, you got it somewhat perfect. So that will be that layer. My next one will also still be a luminosity layer. This is on like half brightness. Um, Sometimes I like leaving it full, sometimes I like leaving it halfway. It kind of just depends. I really want to get that, like, to show that green in there, so that's why I dull it down a little bit. But now, still on that pencil brush, I pretty much go to the same, kind of like, it's pretty much a big brush. And how I kind of determine this, sometimes I do it like, where the edges meet up here. But I think most of the time it's like halfway between that one line right there. I kind of made this one a little bit more light, so I'll go there. I usually put this, if you see this min side, I usually put this at 100%, which what it does, it won't, um, it doesn't do your pressure like a normal pen would. When you at 0%, it will pretty much do 0 from 100%. When you're at 100, it does 100% all the way. When you do halfway, it kind of does halfway. It kind of does that like half, like it's there but it's not. But yeah, so if you do it all the way, you get that perfect circle, and you will have like a double thing. You'll have to press so hard or whatever. But yeah, back to clipping group. I am clipping means, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't mention that before. I mentioned clipping group before. It's pretty much if whatever you have for the base layer, which is way down here, and you see all these little red lines on the other layers, that means it's clipping. Some people have different names on for their side because they have a different side or a different language or whatever, but it's usually right here between the pretty much the second one you click, the second box here, right above the circle, or if your thing way out here, maybe it's like that, or I usually try to keep it. I work in layers, so I try to keep it as big as possible while still having it as a list type of deal. But moving on, once you get that, and this was still keeping, the same effect, dark up top, light at the bottom, go to another screen layer, and this is where I drew the um, swirl, obviously. I did on a screen layer because, normal, everything. She has a little bit lighter swirl, so that's why I did it on the screen. But you could probably do it on any layer you want. It just like, your luminosity is shade is a pretty blue too that you could do it on. Obviously I wouldn't do that one. Which, God rest me. Sorry about that. But screen layer because she has a little bit lighter thing, like a little bit lighter swirl. I mean, depends on what kind of swirl you want or whatever you want to add. If you want it a little bit darker, you can have it a little bit darker. We can check how it looks on medium, It'll be a little bit darker than everything else. But I think the screen works pretty good. I get English good, I guess. Alright. Now, we're going back on the blue. Back on the blue. And I did this with pencil tool. I can't remember what size I did. But, yeah. But because it is a swirl, and you want to get to almost the same as like the other eye, the nice thing about this is that I'll probably just take it and copy it. But before I do that, I will show you other examples that you can do. This one has a swirl. This is why I picked it, because it has a different design in the eye. It's not a simple eye like these ones over here. So let's say if you want to do a small heart in the eye. That's a very crappy heart. Because some people like the hearts in the eyes. I know my daughter Kay does. And roleplay daughter, just in case if you might want to clarify that. I do have a real life son, so sometimes I have to clarify, I don't have 2 kids, I have 1 son, but I do have 3 roleplay daughters and a roleplay son online. But personal information, you could do like a little heart, you could do, I'm going to do this another later so it's kind of faster. You can do like a diamond in the eye. Like a diamond. You can do like an X in the eye. Anything you really want, you could probably do, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, and like I said, you can do it on a screen, you can do it on other things, but like, she has a little swirl, so I thought, I'll show you how to do that. But as I mentioned, to make this a little bit easier on myself, I'm just going to select it, Control C, Control V, which is pretty much copy and paste, and then I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to do it on a screen, so it's the same one as the other one. And then I'm just going to, move it over to make it semi the same. Maybe pretty close. And it's not directly perfect, I mean, people will still get the idea. And then I'll probably merge that so it's on one layer. So, there you go. And then the last thing I would do for eyes would be the shine, which I do on normal, and I just take white. And I usually go 3 different size circles. So I believe I usually, yeah. So some people kind of do them in like the same way. So like this way, like that, and then that, and then over here. Some people can do it that way. Right over here. I prefer doing it the other way and kind of having it, you know, this way. And where I really determine these is really the biggest one over more on the darker side, the medium sized one, the lighter, and then the smallest one would be in like between them both. So that would be have that, and that would be that. I will show you how I do eyelashes as well. This would just be a simple eyelashes. I'm not gonna do both of them, but just kind of do the full set of eyelashes. You can leave them like this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not adding eyelashes or anything. I like eyelashes, so I usually how I do eyelashes is that I always draw eyes. So I always feel like this is like just my calling. I draw eyes on everything. So how you really draw eyelashes is that it's really you take it and you do like half little hoops. You can stop right there if you want. Or you could have like go down a smaller side, like kinda add that's not connected. You can add like more like lines to them to add like more thickness or like more layerness. And then I usually add some down here. They're pretty much just half circles. And that's how I kinda do. So as for the back, I don't really know. I know that's probably the worst explanation of how to do eyelashes. But it just pretty much, the little swoop and everything else. And yeah, so that's how you do that. And just like kind of little like half circle. Kinda, I don't know how I explain it, I'm sorry. But alright, and now I'll show you how you do the back. So how you do the back is that if it's simple white, I mean I kinda just do 2 layers. If it's super white or simple white, not super white, I do the white background and then I make a new layer, clip it, and because it is white, I just take it a little bit darker to the gray, go back to my airbrush tool and do that half circle again, and it will show that grayness. It may not look like much, but it kind of adds just, I think it just adds like texture or like depth to it. Alright, so I'll go on and explain. I don't know if I'm going to explain every single one. I'm not going to do eyelashes for every single one, but I'll go down and do it again with this one. And because this one is a 4-color one, I'll show you how I did this. First, I usually start with, if I have a super dark, vibrant color, like right here, this dark purple with this light purple, and you see that on my other ones that have 2 colors on, I'll do the one with the iris, I'll do the normal iris. And you honestly want the iris in the middle. It's always in the middle of the eye. People are like, where do I put the iris? Where, whatever, whatever. I mean, I always ask that, like, what would look good? Like, what does it, like, where would I put the iris? Unless if you want, like, literally looking off to one side, like up or down or wherever, it's usually the iris is always kind of in the middle of the eye because, you know, Sorry about that, guys. You may not notice anything. Probably the first time using my video recorder, but I did have to stop and uh stop the first recording because, as I mentioned before, my son woke up and my love, which is his father, my boyfriend, didn't realize I was still recording, and so he left the door open, and our son wandered out, and he kind of gets a little loud and everything else. Right now, I'm hoping that, he won't be too much of ours so I can get this stuff done. And not to say he's a total bother, but, just wanting to do that. If you hear Mulan in the background, I have Mulan playing for him. If you hear cooing or, you know, just him talking, I apologize. I hope it doesn't affect, you hearing me or anything else. If it gets too bad again, I'll have to stop, obviously. But I did get one eye done, so I might just do it that way. We'll have to see. All right, going back and everything. Again, usually in the third one, I usually do screen, but I'll do normal. And I did switch to the third color I have here, this limey green. And I'm back to the pen tool, which is, I'm pretty sure, the pen tool is pretty much just like the pencil tool, but it's just halfway on its density and everything else. Mine's at 59, and I have like fast and quality and everything else. But we'll go this way, and it's kind of the same basic thing, Want to make sure you can cover up that iris just a bit. Don't have to. But like, when you get to the line and everything, it kind of covers up anyway to divide those. But next one would be the lines, which is on scene. I still have that green, this green I'm working with. And of course I'll go back to my pencil tool. And as I told you before, this is just, kind of where that darkish, kind of where that top is. That kind of go halfway, halfway, halfway. And how I kind of do this, I don't really do a line straight across. I kind of do, kind of like the eyelashes shape, but upside down. Just because it's supposed to be an eye that's round and everything else. I do sometimes blur the top just to add depth to it. You don't have to, I do it on these and everything. It's not a big deal. I just like blurry things. I do that a lot. Alright, and the next one is that line. I'll probably, once it gets to like the basic and everything else, I probably won't be explaining this a whole lot. And I believe I switched to, yeah, I switched to this lighter blue once I get to that. And with these type of things, when you are dealing with 4 to 5 colors in the eye, which I wouldn't recommend doing that many eye. Like, I'll probably do 4. 4 would probably be my max. I'll probably do exactly like this, a super dark one to a super light one. I would say probably 3 would be my very max. I have done 2 in the eye, and then I have like the third color be something in, like behind the eye if I wanted another color in the eye, but I think 4 is just kind of a crowd. I mean, depending on what kind of diversity you're doing it with. Like, this is supposed to be blue, I think. And so, just kind of like, I don't know. I think it just kind of gets a lot. Alright. And the next one would be that half circle again that we did over here, which would be the same exact thing. Taking it, I usually go pretty big on it just so I can get halfway. I just kind of push it around there. And this one's also on a lower density again. So I did like halfway just to kind of see the green. And then, of course, the shine again. And the thing is with the shine, some people do them like this. Some people do them like this with the shine. Some people kind of do the circle like in the middle and kind of do it like that with the shine and kind of do it like that way. It's honestly, um, it's honestly, up to you. Play with it if you want. I always done this three circles, and that's just how it is. Alright, next one, and these probably go a lot faster as I go. I'm gonna show the demon eye because I had a friend ask me how I would do a demon eye and everything. So I'm gonna do that one. Alright, so a little bit different with the demon eye. I have this black here. And I don't do solid black. I never do solid black. So instead of going to my pencil tool and doing it that way, I first did like a brush and I kinda did it that way. Then instead of for a normal pupil eyes, I did this upside down cross type of deal on multi-layer. And so I'm just gonna, if you don't want to sit here and try to redo it, the simplest, like easiest way is pretty much, copy and paste. I mean, it's not gonna kill you if you copy and paste it. And I think it's supposed to be a little bit bigger than that. I think I used a little bit bigger brush. So, yeah, close enough. With eyes, it's so hard to get them all even. And that's why, you can always copy and paste. Don't be afraid that, oh, well, I can't draw the other eye, I'm not good enough. Like, use the tools that you are given. Copy and paste that shit, man. Alright, the next thing, like, these are all on multi-layer, as you can see. I would do, the halfway with black. And I have it a bit on lower density and everything. Sorry, my son got the remote, so I had to see what he was doing. And it might take you a little bit to get it dark and everything, but next one, it's kind of the same basis that I'm going for. You know, this one doesn't really have an iris, so I just kind of did like the biome of it. Of where I would think the line would be. And because it's like the whole eye and not just like the middle of the eyes, that it's a little bit harder to like base on where they would be and everything. Alright, instead of doing all over like I would before, I just kind of followed the lines that I made. So like, the cross and everything, just to make it a little bit more demon-like and everything. Just because, I think that kind of looks a little bit better. Play around with it. I just pretty much played with it. And I figured, this will work. Now with a luminosity layer, you can see how light the screen layer is just with using this black. Luminosity layer would not work. It's gonna be really, like, too dark. So, I turn it on and use white. So, I kinda actually thought about this after I went to bed last night. Instead of doing it like just the corners, I think I'm just gonna go do it like down, like I got like that, just to see and make it look a little bit cooler. Especially if you want like a demon eye and everything. That's kind of, you want something different. And I lowered this opacity on it too. So. Again, our luminosity layer, and that's the circle again, and I just did that again on white. I mean, with the black layer, a lot of people tell you, don't do white, don't do this. Do whatever you want. I mean, it works for me. If it works for you, do it. Nothing wrong with that. And I do have this on half, because otherwise it's going to be way too bright. So I do have this about half, maybe a little bit more than half. 25%. And then I have my shine, like I always do. This time I did this way, so I would do it also this way. I did, and it would be the same step as I would as if I had the other one. So, like, big here, middle, and there. Yep, and there goes my son talking up a storm. Alright, and these are just gonna be super, super simple. I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do the cat eye, and then probably speed through the rest. So if I can do that on my full editing thing. The first time I'm using the full editor that I downloaded and everything, so we see how that goes. Alright, so now I have my blues, and I'm going to skip up a couple layers, because that's, my blues up here. I mean, honestly, it's the same exact stuff that it kind of sounds like I'm repeating myself 24/7, I apologize. But I'm just showing you, like, the different tricks you can do and everything else. I already got my first layer done, and these are cat eyes, so when you want to do cat eyes, the good thing I learned, it kind of like, it's like, kind of a V shape like this. This is how I do my cat eyes. And then, like that. Some people do their cat eyes like this too. I mean, this is like really badly done. But kind of like a diamond shape down to the middle of the eye. Kind of like that, with being a little bit more detailed. Yeah. It, you can do it either way. Some people don't do the point. Some people just go like this with their cat eye. It's honestly whatever you prefer. I only kind of did it this way. I don't know why. I just thought they looked cooler. But, alright. And then with the darker, I'll do, my airbrush again. I did lower the density on this one. I think I kind of put a darker blue on it and everything. So I think I just picked the darker blue. So I think I'm gonna erase this and do a lighter blue. I apologize, my son went upstairs, so I had to grab him. I usually don't have them up, so I really apologize. That's like gonna be bothersome. Maybe I'll try to edit it out. Alright, and then, what time? 13, alright. I'm trying to remember that. Alright, and then, like I said, I'm gonna, like, leave it. I'm gonna put a little bit, we do with this blue a little bit instead of that other one. Yeah, this one will work better. And the same as ever, middle to top. And I'll just, so you guys know I replaced that blue. Alright. And this one, same one. And don't worry about that point. Still make it round, but just kind of go more dip under that point. Of course, like, the same as ever, don't try to cover it too much. Ooh. He might look bad now because I'm trying to brush. And then semi circle, obviously, I do a V. You know, obviously, if I'm gonna do a cat eye instead of a V, you pretty much take the shape whatever you're doing. So if it's a circle, do a circle. If it's not a circle, do a upside down cross, do whatever you think it is. And because it's kind of different, I would probably do it just above, like that. Oops, down the wrong layer. Anybody done that before? You're working on a layer, and then you notice it's down the wrong one. And now, as always, my shine. And there we go. And I'm gonna mute myself now and do the last two muted, and hopefully I'll figure out how to speed up the last few minutes so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night and everything else, and keep on shining. You can stop it right here if you get what I'm saying, or you can ask for more questions if you want to figure out something else. Make sure if you think it's helpful, leave a like, comment, do whatever you want. Um, if you're having a bad time, don't forget that, stars can't shine without that darkness behind them. So don't forget that you're great. I hope you guys have a nice day. And like I said, stick around to the end of the video, or you can pause it and close it and do whatever. Bye!